Frank,
Yeah, we're on the air. We're on the air now.
we're on the air?
Yeah, hang up. Don't close everything in the background, okay?
I will. So,
All right. So yeah,
what's up, everybody listening on their radios? This is odd way to start the show. Live from New York City, this is Sports, Politics, and More. Andrew Pollack here along with Frank, and me and Frank I've gone crazy tonight, have we?
yeah. Well, it wasn't this time. This wasn't our fault. For some reason, the UCY wasn't picking up the call. Who knows? Who cares? Andrew, how was the show last week? I heard a little bit of it.
It went very well, in my opinion.
Why did you have trouble starting the show last week?
Well, what happened was my mom was freaking out over something, and if I didn't put down my microphone, she would have been annoyed. She was telling me, it has to be now, I'm going to sleep soon, I have work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And if it didn't get taken care of, she would have had a mental breakdown, literally.
Oh, boy. So, and Andrew, you were telling me before we got on the air that you sound very loud this week. Why is that? Hello? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Frank.
What
Don't worry, Frank. This is fixable. This is fixable. I got this.
Oh,
stand by. This is very fixable. Don't worry. That's why I bought this computer.
Well, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Just keep talking until I come right back.
Oh my God! All right, so listen. As everybody can hear, my voice is shot. I've been suffering from. I guess I'm going to chalk it up to laryngitis. It's been 3 weeks. My voice comes and goes, so I can't yell. I can't get too excited, or I'll probably lose my voice. And there's a lot to lose my voice over, as usual. The shows. this 1 hour show is supposed to be informative and creative, and it always turns out to be a headache, a bag of headaches. Anyway, there's a lot going on in the news. As usual, it's gossip. The gossip page run wild. Just absolutely, it's absurd. Everything that's going on is absurd. I'm tired of reading about these things. I'm tired of talking about them, and I'm tired of reporting about them. But I mean, like I've said before on the show, me and Andrew, we can only present you what's presented to us and what's presented to the public. We don't make up the news. We don't create the news. We just report on the news. That's the whole show, pretty much in a nutshell. We're reporting, and a lot of people report news these days on the internet, and it's good.
And it's sometimes bad.
Why?
Why is it bad? Because there's so many fake news.
Yeah, everybody. You're right. Andrew's right. These days, everybody has an opinion. Everybody can broadcast their opinion, and it doesn't make it right. I'm not saying our opinion is right, but we try to show. Show facts and back up our arguments. But so Andrew, now this today the craze happened at the Starbucks craze. You familiar with the story?
Oh, you mean the two black guys who were in Starbucks? Yes, I saw the Mark Dice video today. Yes.
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't heard about. Walked in, they sat down, and they happened to be African American, and whoever it was, one of the employees said if they could help them. They said no, we're just waiting for a friend. They didn't want to. They had no intention of buying anything, which at that point makes them loitering. I mean, listen, you could go into an establishment and sit down for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, but you're making yourself at home using Wi-Fi, and when's your friends going to show up? And Starbucks is not the park. It's not a public space. It's a place of business. So apparently the employee asked them, I don't know if she asked him to leave, and she called 911. I heard the 911 call before. It was a simple call. She said there's two gentlemen. They didn't want to pay to stay. The cops were called in, and the two guys were still arguing with the cops, even when the cops came. They felt they were being targeted, but they don't. They wanted to use the bathroom. They didn't let them use the bathroom. But then one of the guys, he recorded somebody coming out of the bathroom, a white guy, and he said, "Hey, did they give you the code?" And he's like, "Yeah." "Did you buy anything?" "No." But that man came in saying he was going to buy something, and as soon as he got off out of the bathroom, he went online to buy something. Okay, so these two caused a little disturbance, and all right, we'll let Mark Dice talk about what happened today.
Millions of mentally enslaved morons are upset with Starbucks, and their hashtag boycott Starbucks has sent shockwaves across the country after two black men were sitting in a Philadelphia Starbucks waiting for a friend and were arrested for trespassing, even though they didn't do nothing. Mobs of morons hit the streets and even stormed the Starbucks, accusing the company of racial profiling. Now the CEO says he's going to close all 8,000 locations for a mandatory re-education program for all 175,000 U.S. employees to teach them how they can be less racist to black people. So let's see what really happened here, shall we? These two men came into the Starbucks and were hanging out for about 15 minutes without buying anything.
By the way, Andrew, I'll tell you, I was supposed to get a guest on tonight. I messaged Andrew before. I was supposed to get a guest. I was going to have a guest, somebody call in who claimed they were a witness to this.
Really?
Yeah, but it didn't work out. But,
wow.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. They couldn't make it. But anyway, so yeah. In the video, obviously a whole bunch of people crammed into the store and proceeded to have a sit down, which means they sat down in the store and chanting all types of stuff.
They waited for a friend. Later, one of them wanted to use the bathroom, but it's store policy, as it is in many restaurants, that only paying customers can get the key to the bathroom, and he refused to buy a basic cup of coffee or even a stick of gum, which would have made him a paying
or a
customer.
bottle of water.
The employee felt uncomfortable with her interaction with the man, which I can only assume is because he was extremely rude, and so she asked them to either buy something or leave, and they refused. Since landing here in Philadelphia 2 days ago, leadership team and
what the fuck? Oh my God.
objective of understanding how the situation unfolded and to begin to take the steps necessary to ensure it never happens again. Well, it happened because they refused to buy anything and were just loitering on someone else's private property, and when the police came and asked them to leave nicely, instead of doing so without incident, they decided to sit there and argue with the police for literally 7 minutes, causing the police then to arrest them for trespassing. Here's the call she made to the police, where I bet she referred to them as a bunch of racial slurs.
Philadelphia Police, Officer 363, how may I help you? Hi, I have two gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave. I'm at the Starbucks at 18th and Spruce. Alright, please, I'll be on as soon as possible. Thank you.
It sounds like she said there are two gentlemen refusing to make a purchase or leave. I would say that's grounds to call the police. So the police came and asked them to leave.
Right, and then, of course, they didn't leave. They started acting like dicks. They're dicks. They could get charged for loitering, trespassing, disorderly conduct. And this CEO from Starbucks, I don't know if he's some type of idiot. I don't know how he got this position. He said yeah. Anyway, he came out and offered him. He panicked. This guy panicked, and he said he's going to close down all 8,000 stores and have all his employees have training. What I say to this guy is, why doesn't he? Why aren't there signs in Starbucks saying you must be a paying customer to use the bathroom, or you can't sit down without?
I will admit something about Starbucks on this show. So this was about 4 years ago, when I was getting my training to become an environmental services worker. And this was when it was cold out. This is early 2014. So what happened was, in Woodside, where we got the training, they told us, you're not allowed in the building. Nobody's going to be here. So one day, I randomly just ate my lunch in Starbucks and nobody gave a crap.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, listen, sometimes, they're not going to pay. They can't. You got away with it once, but I'm sure if you do it every day, somebody's going to catch on.
Oh, no, I didn't do it every day, no.
I know, you did it once, but I'm saying maybe if you did it again tomorrow, they would say something to you.
This was 4 years ago.
I know, Andrew, I'm saying if you would have did it again, maybe they would have quit you. Anyway, so this was the scene today inside the Starbucks.
That's what happened in there.
All right, listen. So listen, it was so stupid, and now apparently this has become a phenomenon caused by the internet and social media. Yeah, people just think there's it's Rosa Parks every day. These people are so stupid. And let me ask you a question: Where don't these people have jobs? I don't understand. Where do all these people during the middle of the day, find time to go and protest in a Starbucks? I don't understand.
I don't even know either.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
Why are they going into this random Starbucks in
It's not a random
Philadelphia?
That's where it happened. But I'm saying, why? I don't understand why they're protesting.
Hang on, Frank. I have some developing news right now.
What is it?
Well, this is interesting. The New York Post is reporting that Governor Cuomo here in New York has signed an executive order to give convicted felons on parole the right to vote.
Yeah, I know. He's a liberal cuck.
I know. This is crazy. Quoted saying tonight, in this state, when you're released from prison and you're on parole, you still don't have the right to vote, Cuomo said at the National Action Network conference in Midtown. Now, how can that be? You did your time, you paid your debt, you're released, but you still don't have the right to vote.
Well, I don't know. It usually, if you're a convicted felon, you lose a lot of your rights, which is, it's tough. If you're a convicted felon, it's tough to get to be treated the same. I don't know. It depends on what kind of felony. If you were convicted of rape, attempted murder, it's tough. I don't know. I guess you lose your rights, but that's up to the states to decide, and that's up to I guess ultimately Congress. But this is ridiculous. There's a lot going on. Of course, Trump's involved, and not through his fault. Not all through his fault. Andrew, of course, you heard that. Trump's lawyers, Michael Cohen's offices got raided last week, was it?
Oh, that bogus story with Hannity.
Yeah, no. Trump's.
Yeah, and the lawyer got raided. I know about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't remember the FBI raiding the offices of Hillary or Huma or Podesta or the DNC when when classified information was being handled like monopoly money.
I'm laughing at the idiocracy about this.
Yeah, we can only laugh. But let me tell you, you see these stories that we hear about on social media, these are just small little things that get sensationalized. In reality, I hope and I pray the majority of the people do not feel this way, and the majority of the people probably feel the way me and Andrew feel, and maybe some of the listeners. This is stupid, And Andrew, did you see that?
I kind of feel like the media has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder when it comes to Trump all the time.
No. I told you their mission is to create as many stories, controversial and polarizing stories as possible, and they hope that one or two of them will have legs and it'll stick and they can get ratings, and it'll be another week, and then
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. What I forgot about? Oh yeah, do you remember last week the chemical attack, the serial chemical attack?
Yeah, Trump did something important on Friday.
Yeah. What happened? What's going on now? Nothing. It's all fake. Everything is fake. Everything is a propaganda war. Andrew, do you remember last year at this time the same thing happened?
And I think our short-term memory loss has affected us a lot.
Yeah. Last year at this time, when the U.S. was talking about maybe exiting Syria.
Donald Trump.
Exiting Syria, what happened? Within days, there was a report that Assad used chemical weapons. You saw the children. Then Trump sent a Tomahawk missile, which, let me tell you, Andrew, that footage, I don't know if you remember, like when they showed it's dark and they show the missile going off the ship. That footage is from 1986. I swear to God, that footage was from 1986. That's stock footage. It's fake. And then
basically Trump did it. It's fake news.
I don't know, Andrew. I don't know what's right. And then last week on Tuesday, the story is that Trump was talking about he was getting ready to pull out of Syria. And then what happens on Wednesday? Syria, Assad gasses his own people. It's bullshit. Why would Assad do that? He's winning the war. Using chemical weapons, just like last year, would be the stupidest, most foolish things. But like I predicted, I told somebody last week, and I said, wait till Tuesday, and it'll be a memory. And it's true. It's not because
it's Wednesday, and no one's even talking about it.
Right. It's not because I'm smart. But once you pay attention to the news every day, like me, I'm a news junkie. You kind of start seeing these patterns, and I'm right. Now, remember
attention deficit disorder.
Remember last year, Andrew? What they kept saying about North Korea? North Korea, it's all bullshit. And now what happened? Now they've already been talking behind the scenes, all to make an announcement that there's going to be peace. North Korea and South Korea have.
Oh, they made a big deal about it today.
Yeah, they reportedly they're in discussions that to end the Korean War. And I don't know if you know this, the Korean War never ended in the 50s.
I know about the Korean War.
Yes, it didn't end. It never officially ended. Both those countries were still at war. They're still at war now.
And that explains why they're jamming each other's radio signal.
Yeah, because they're at war. And anyway, moving on. Then with this Cohen thing, yeah, well, let Ben Shapiro explain what's going on.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like Ben Shapiro. He talks very clearly, and he's smart.
The big story yesterday, of course, was that Michael Cohen's lawyers went to court to try and get access to the information that the FBI had seized from Michael Cohen last week. So, as you recall, last week, the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office. Michael Cohen, of course, is the personal lawyer to President Trump. And they raided his office supposedly on the basis of some sort of violation of federal law by Michael Cohen that would have violated the attorney-client privilege. So what allows them to raid an attorney's office? Well, there is a crime fraud exception to attorney-client privilege. So if I am your lawyer and we have privilege, right, that means that typically the FBI is not allowed to search those documents or look at those documents. However, if we are combining to work in illegal fashion, if you and I have decided that we are going to commit conspiracy to defraud the government, for example, then attorney-client privilege does not hold. You have to show good evidence. You have to go in front of a magistrate judge. You have to get that approved for a warrant by the DOJ. That's exactly what happened. So they seize all of this material from Michael Cohen's office, and they don't just get a little bit of the material. They take everything. So now Michael Cohen's lawyers go to court, and they say, we would like access to all of that information. We want to know exactly what it was that was taken from Michael Cohen's office so that we can go through and make an argument about what it is the FBI should see and what the FBI should not see. They wanted a special master, appointed a special master as a person who is not related to the case, who can actually look through all the documents and determine what ought to remain privileged and what ought not to remain privileged. And yesterday the court ruled sort of in Cohen's favor, sort of not in Cohen's favor. According to the Associated Press, a judge considering how to handle records seized in an FBI raid on President Trump's personal attorney wrapped up a hearing into the matter Monday without making a final decision. U.S. District Judge Kimba Wood, who has been linked to a bunch of sort of lefties, including George Soros, but again, I think that's kind of weak. I don't think that Kimba Wood is doing the satanic work of George Soros or anything stupid like that. She says that she trusts prosecutors to review the materials, but may allow a neutral third party to weigh in as well. Lawyers for Trump attorney Michael Cohen, according to the AP, had asked for the appointment of a so-called special master to review the material and make sure nothing protected by attorney-client privilege winds up at the hands of investigators. She was saying, well, normally there's what is called a taint team, and then there's a clean team. Of course, we were going to end up in a situation with Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump where a taint team was called. When a taint team actually...
All right, so it's really bullshit. But they did get the warrant, so it can have nothing to do with Trump. But this is just a bunch of bullshit. It is. And I'm going to read now, Andrew.
What are you going to read? I'm listening.
I want to read the actual attorney.
I was researching Ben Shapiro. He's Jewish.
Yes, he actually wears a yarmulke. He's an observant Jew. Okay, so this is from website NOLO, NOLO, and it explains the attorney-client privilege. All right, the attorney-client privilege is a rule that preserves the confidentiality of communications between lawyers and clients. Under that rule, attorneys may not divulge their client secrets, nor may others force them to, which in this case would be the FBI. The purpose of the privilege is to encourage clients to openly share information with their lawyers and to let lawyers provide effective representation. The client's privilege covers an actual or potential client communication with the lawyer regarding legal advice. The lawyer acting in a professional capacity rather than for a friend. The client is intended the communication to be private and acted accordingly. Okay? So basically...
basically nothing was kept private.
Yeah, Andrew, you hit it on the head. Because now, who's to say what the FBI looks at, what the FBI doesn't look at? They have all this information,
So let me ask you something. Does the FBI have any right to raid had any right to raid Michael Cohen's office?
Well,
was there a warrant?
Yeah, of course they got a warrant, Andrew. So apparently they had enough evidence to get the warrant. But that doesn't mean this is about Trump. Michael Cohen doesn't. He has many clients. Trump's only one of his clients. So who knows what they're doing? It's just
the weird thing when I thought of Cohen was, I'm gonna unrelatedly saying it, that's the last name of my actual attorney.
Yes, and
it is no joke.
In New York City, there's about 500,000 Cohens,
And I'm not going to say which Cohen is mine representing me.
But, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But,
it doesn't matter, exactly.
All right, so let me just continue reading this. Past and future misbehavior. Discussions of previous acts are generally subject to the attorney-client privilege. If, for example, if a client tells his lawyer that he robbed the bank or lied about assets during a divorce, the lawyer probably can't disclose the information. But if a client initiates a communication with a lawyer for the purpose of committing a crime or an act of fraud in the future, the attorney-client privilege typically doesn't apply. What the news is saying is that the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office because of the payoff, the money to this Stormy Daniels. But it's garbage. That's not what it is, because the first time they did it, it was legal. And who cares? Who cares if Trump had sex with this girl for one night 12 years ago? Who cares? I don't understand.
I don't give a crap about Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Why is the news giving? Why? Well, we know why the news is giving Stormy Daniels all this attention. But what does it really mean? Trump's 70 years old. Trump has gotten laid thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times in his lifetime. Okay. Men of his...
He's actually 71, and he'll be 72 on June 14th.
Yeah, men of his stature, who's wealthy and prominent, they do this all the time. They have sex with somebody, and then they through their lawyer, they give them hush money to say, "Don't, you can't talk about us having sex."
Oh, this is developing. You got to hear this. This is another lady. The New York Times is reporting that an ex-Playboy model allegedly went on the record and talked about her affair with Trump. This is from the New York Times.
Yeah, okay, listen. Like I said at the top of the show, this is like the gossip page on steroids, and now because they're trying so desperately to get ratings and get legs on the story, Now every hoe from the last 25 years is going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I had sex." So who cares? Trump didn't do anything wrong. Stormy Daniels and him had consensual sex. She wasn't forced to anything. She's not a victim. She had sex. She had sex. She consented to sex with Trump. She accepted the money from Trump's lawyer or whoever gave it to her to keep quiet about it. And then this only happened because Trump became the president, and she figured she could get she could get 5 minutes of fame. She's a retard. She's a slut. She's a hoe, and she sucks cocks. She's admittedly, yesterday she was on The View, I believe, and they're trying to portray her as a victim, but she's not a victim. She's just cashing in on this. She already admitted that she's making she's getting a lot of money now for stripping, and the book will be out soon. She'll write the book just like that.
Basically, like, the media has a fascination with her now. It's so disturbing that, like, creatures that ended up on the Jerry Springer show are now in mainstream life. How in the world is this happening?
Listen, Andrew tonight is I won't give him credit, but he's making a lot of sense, and he's really hitting it on the head. Listen, we knew.
Why am I watching the Jerry Springer show on the news?
Listen, this was going to be. This was the part of the package with Trump becoming the president. Trump. I mean, I've explained many times on this show. From his early history, I remember him from the early '80s. He was in New York City. He was always in the tabloids, always in the papers. He was famous in the '80s and '90s. He was famous for his divorce.
I only knew about him because of Celebrity Apprentice.
Yes, but Andrew, I'm explaining to you. He really became famous when he divorced his first wife Ivanka Trump for Marla Maples. He got her pregnant, then he divorced her. He was always in the newspaper for divorces. That's all. That's what he was known for. And then recently in the mid 2000s, he became the host of the Celebrity Apprentice. It took off, and now he's the president. But Trump is always going to be like this. I think Ben Shapiro called in one of his shows. He called Trump a mud monster. A mud monster means like any other politician. If you hurled an allegation at them, if you hurl a little bit of mud at them, their career's over. But with Trump, no matter what you hurl at him, it just deflects off of him. And again, in a week or two, this will be forgotten about. And this is. But I don't even want to cover this shit. But I mean, what are we going to cover? What are we going to cover? We're going to cover that. I read the other day, Andrew, that. Your fat cells could be turned into stem cells, and it pretty much could cure or rebuild or repair any organ in your body. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so that's crazy. It's basically like it's basically they could take fat cells from your body, and they could turn those fat cells into stem cells, and then those stem cells could be programmed to replicate anything that they touch. So if you have liver damage, they could inject those cells into your liver and they will regenerate. That's amazing. I mean, they're doing it now. Why do you think
modern day science?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, yeah, it's called life extending technologies. That a lot of the public it's not open to a lot of the public. Like, why do you think all these elites, all these wealthy people live until their 90s? Like, you saw Barbara Bush yesterday when she passed away?
Yes. And this has been a crazy week for deaths. So let's just recap everybody in case they are having attention deficit disorder. So Monday, we lost a very important actor.
What?
We lost a very important actor.
Oh, there's no such thing as an important actor. Who died?
Lee Emery Harvey.
Oh, the drill sergeant from Metal Jacket. He wasn't really an actor. Yeah, I guess he's an actor, but come on, Andrew, that's not breaking news. And
then yesterday we had, of course, Barbara Bush, And then we had Bruno Sammartino today.
Yes, so. We'll talk about him in a little later, real fast. But Barbara Bush, she always reminded me of the quote. You ever look at the Quaker Oats guy with the white hair? Quaker Oats. You never seen Quaker Oats? The guy.
I've seen Quaker Oats.
Yeah, the guy with the white. Yeah, the guy with the white hair on the front of the cover of the.
Maybe I have seen it.
Andrew, Google.
Oh yeah, that guy. Now I remember him.
Back when George Bush was the president, the joke was that Barbara Bush looked like the Quaker Oats guy.
Really?
You don't think so? Look at him. He has white hair.
Right, with the hat on.
Yeah. I'm saying she wasn't a very attractive woman compared to.
Oh yeah.
Compared to these last two first ladies, Melania and I guess Michelle Obama's pretty hot for her age. Do you think Michelle Obama's hot, Andrew?
I think she's pretty, but not anything glamorous.
No, I know. But I'm saying for first lady, she's very pretty, and Melania Trump, of course, she's sexy, whatever. She's a form.
I have no comment on Melania.
She's pretty. She's very pretty, but so I guess we'll Andrew, let's move on to the news. Do you have your news theme?
Oh, the news?
Yeah,
here we go. Oh, hang on. Do you hear it?
Yes.
All right, so it's 8:30. It's time for the news.
So yes. Let me. I'll do it. You could comment, Andrew. So now the big thing yesterday was now there's the news network wars between CNN and Fox. Apparently it was revealed that Sean Hannity from Fox, that Michael Cohen is his lawyer also. So CNN was going crazy. What are you doing, Andrew? What are you doing? Why are you banging?
I'm not banging anything.
Stop the hammering. All right, listen. So Sean Hannity, Michael Cohen represents Sean Hannity. Trump and Sean Hannity share the same lawyer. So the people at the news people at CNN were going crazy over this because Sean Hannity is I don't know. I guess it's Russian collusion. I don't know what that means. Michael Cohen, like I said, doesn't represent only one person. He's a good lawyer, and he represents a lot of people, a lot of clients. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. He represents more people in court.
But I found this article here from the Daily Caller, also associated with Ben Shapiro. It says, flashback, Clinton lawyer represented tons of journalists. So it said the media was up in arms this week over Fox News host Sean Hannity's relationship with Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, but the journalists have decided it was improper for Hannity not to disclose the relationship with Cohen while defending him on air. Who cares? Who
gives a crap? No one cares about Hannity.
Yeah, well, no, people care about him. He gets big ratings.
Not like that.
No, but they're saying that he should have said, "Oh, by the way, Michael Cohen is my attorney, and I'm going to defend him." They're trying to say that he wasn't being journalistic integrity, but this is so stupid. So anyway, Clinton lawyer Bob Barnett has represented scores of politicians, including Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Michelle Obama, and Laura Bush. He served as Clinton's personal lawyer while they were in the White House. In addition, he was also one of the most prominent lawyers representing journalists and TV anchors. His own website described him as leading representatives of television news correspondents. So he's basically the Clinton lawyer was basically the news anchors and journalists' lawyer. According to Barnett, he has represented famed Washington Post journalist Bob Woodward, CNN's Jake Tapper, that spineless jellyfish, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, also the retard. Jim Acosta from CNN, and Jeff Zillani, Brian Williams, Peter Alexander, Chris Jansing, among the others. So what is this? This is all a bunch of bullshit. This is more... who's paying attention to this? Nobody cares. You can't pay attention to all this stuff.
Oh, exactly. It's hard to keep
why?
an eye on it.
Why? I'm serious. Why are you tapping? Why do I hear tapping?
It's my keyboard.
Why? But it sounds like really. It sounds like you're banging.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm listening to the show, I wanna break your head. Stop.
Stop the hammering.
It's not funny. Come on. So this so this was a really weird. And then moving on. Then there was another story about unusual surveillance activity around D.C. and senators want answers. And this is really last month. The Department of Homeland Security revealed that it had observed anomalous activity in the national capital region that appears to be consistent with international mobile subscriber identity caches. Quote, it claimed not to know who was behind the use of the surveillance devices. In the letter, the senators asked the Trump administration to release details about the possible surveillance. Quote, the American people have a legitimate interest in understanding the extent to which U.S. telephone networks are vulnerable to surveillance and are being actively exploited by hostile actors. The senators wrote in a letter reviewed by Reuters. I mean, this is ridiculous. Everybody's getting tapped. When does it end?
I don't know when it ends, Frank. It's madness.
Listen, if you are anybody of importance who has to discuss anything of importance, do not write it down. Don't text it. Don't send it. Go back to the old ways and write it down and meet, because this is ridiculous. If we are so vulnerable right now, we could be hacked. People are so fucking.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's in this day and age, anything is accessible.
Yeah, people
online.
are so stupid.
Anything.
They put they get that what is it, Alexa? That Google.
Alexa.
Yeah,
put X on my shopping list.
Yeah, that's basically you're putting a wiretap in your house. Basically, you think Alexa goes to sleep? You think she? Well,
oh, it's like Goodfellas when they bug the phones.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, only you have a big bug right in the middle of your table. Yeah, it's one big listening device, listening to everything you say. What do you think? It only listens, it only picks up when you talk to it? It's always picking it up. And how many times, Andrew, have we heard people when they ask Alexa, do you work for the CIA? And it doesn't talk. I don't know if you've ever seen that disturbing footage.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, if you ask Alexa, hold on, let's see. Alexa, do you work for the CIA? Let's see, hold on. Of course, there'll be a commercial in this.
What is the CIA?
The Central Intelligence Agency, the civilian foreign intelligence service of the U.S. government, tasked with gathering, processing, and analyzing national security information from around the world, primarily through the use of human intelligence.
Alexa, are you connected to the CIA?
No, I work for Amazon.
Alexa, does Amazon work for the CIA? Alexa, does Amazon work for the CIA? Alexa, does Amazon work for the CIA? Interesting.
Yeah, apparently that's Alexa, shut the fuck up.
What?
Yeah,
you know what music I'm talking about, Frank?
Yes. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, but I mean, oh my God! Listen, but I mean, you got to be some type of an idiot. I don't even turn on that thing on Windows, Cortana.
Yeah.
Why do
Cortana?
Yeah, I never speak to Cortana. I don't want anything to do with Cortana. That's a listening device.
Why?
Because it's a listening device. I just explained to you.
So if I go on Google on my phone and I say something to it, it can actually hear me?
Yes, Andrew. It's meant to pick up your conversations, so that way, like you. I don't know if you ever noticed. Sometimes you might be discussing something, and soon thereafter, you see an advertisement on Facebook or on Google about what you were just talking about. Like if I said, if you talked about, oh, I need air conditioners, I'm thinking about buying an air conditioner, and then like a day later, you get a big ad on Facebook about air conditioners on sale. It's crazy. But Andrew, good news now. As we go back to California, a new poll found that half of Californians are okay with the travel ban, and another county in California tonight voted 5-0 in opposing sanctuary cities. So that's good news. So a lot of people in California are waking up. California is becoming a wasteland, from what I hear. There's a lot of homeless tent cities. So it says the survey was released Wednesday by UC Berkeley's Haas Institute for a Fair and Inclusive Society showed that while residents of the country's only sanctuary state value the diversity and inclusion on all fronts, from economic and racial justice to immigration reform, their viewpoints on politics and race. It's a state whose progressive movement has grown and matured, yet they're still seeing high levels of inequality across the state as other social. Well, not everybody can be equal. I don't understand. It's what is it? This equality? We're not communist. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're not communists.
Yeah, listen, we get the right thing is in capitalism. When you are born, we are all equal. That means we are all equal at the start. You understand, Andrew?
Yeah, we're trying to be equal.
Yes.
One nation under God.
Yes. When you go to kindergarten, you and all the other kids in the kindergarten are equal. You have the same chance at life. You could get good grades. You could go to high school, get good grades, go to a great college. You could study and score high in the SAT. Then in college, you could excel, and then you could excel and have a good career. These people want equality at the end, meaning now everybody has to be equal. No, it's not a participation trophy. Life is not a participation trophy. You have to work hard. You have to be, and if you can't make it, you can't make it. But now, it says about 79 of Californians. It said, hold on, I'm sorry. It said 71% of residents think that establishing a pathway to citizenship for immigrants is somewhat or very important. 79% supported a pathway to citizenship for the Dreamers, and they did. The young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children, and 66% rejected the idea that a border wall is an important immigration policy. Sure, well, they don't care, but 79 Californians said they believed it was important to take in immigrants and refugees from countries where people are trying to escape war and violence. But how do you know where these people are coming from? So these people are jackasses. So seeing all these other indicators in the study, limiting involvement with ICE, supporting citizenship, to me, I think that speaks to the spirit of California. I think some of these outlier results may be looking more into the attitudes of certain areas where there needs to be more education. So this fucking guy, who is this? John Rodney. He's saying that all these people who are opposed to sanctuary cities are just fringe voices.
Oh, you mean how Moonbeam is going crazy with sanctuary state status?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is awful. It's awful. I hope the big earthquake hits California and they just. I'm sorry.
California should secede from the Union, honestly.
Yeah, if they seceded from the Union, they would be lost within 2 years, Andrew. Of course. Then the United States, once they become a separate country, they don't have the United States. They don't have the resources of the United States. They have to be independent, even though they have a large economy. What is that doing for them now? Where one out of 5 Californians are living in poverty. So
what you're saying is they shouldn't secede from the Union.
No, it'd be stupid for them to secede from the Union. If they seceded from the Union, they would have to use their own military. They would
exactly. It's the same thing with Long Island.
Yeah.
Long Island seceded from the Union. That would be a problem.
Yeah,
because the MTA wouldn't run the Long Island Railroad then.
Right. Well, I'm sure they would make a deal, but then in actuality, the Long Island Railroad would become international.
Oh no!
But anyway, Andrew, did you hear this crazy story? I think it was yesterday. in Prince George's County, 7 elementary students cut their wrists at school. Did you hear about this?
Wrist cutting? Come on. This isn't the early 2010s. Get out of here with that.
Why? That was a big thing?
Back in 2011.
What, really?
Yeah, people used to do it all the time.
Wow. Well, apparently these kids must have read something on the internet and tried to copy it. Officials with Prince George's County Public Schools said a concerned parent at William Park Elementary School in Hyattsville came forward on March 29 and an investigation was launched. It was revealed that the students used blades out of pencil sharpeners to cut themselves. The 7 students were seen by the school nurse and none of the children were taken to hospitals. School counselors were brought in. Of course, officials announced a ban on pencil sharpeners. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Next, they're going to ban what are they going to ban next, Andrew? Anything they can be used.
I don't know.
Yeah, anything that can be used as a weapon. Several concerned parents questioned why the school waited until Tuesday to alert all parents of the incidents. Prince George's County Public School released the following statements to Fox 5. The school's first priority is identifying students who may have engaged in this activity and contacting their parents to offer support. The investigation continued through the spring break, and after the parents of the 7 students were contacted first to offer support. Yeah, okay, so why does this concern other people? I don't understand. These 7 kids got together. They thought it would be fun to cut their wrists. It's obviously a copycat, like Andrew's talking about. So more big nothing burgers, Andrew.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yes. So in other big news that Trump is seeking to free Americans in North Korea, and also it was reported saying that Trump may meet Kim Jong-un in weeks to come. Of course, we talked about it earlier.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Yes, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, because maybe North Korea will finally start being civil again.
Yeah, well, listen, Trump right now.
Any civility from North Korea would be great right now.
Listen,
anything from them.
Yes, and I'm sure they're tired of living like that. But like I said, they have been in a war for the last 60 years.
But here's what I don't get. Why have they always been communists?
No, they weren't always communists. That's why the Korean War started, is because the North tried to become communist, and the South didn't want to become communist, so they had a war.
So what you're saying is that this war technically ends, there will not be a North-South Korea anymore?
It's the first step to uniting the country, but a lot of talks have to be made. I mean, Kim Jong-un is not going to give up his power, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a power-hungry egomaniac.
Right. But listen, Andrew, after 50 years, or 60 years, I should say, it's a step in the right direction.
Kim, you're Rocket Man. I'm very happy to meet you.
Yeah, listen, just on that alone, because if North Korea and South Korea actually officially end the war, I mean, Trump should be up for nominated for Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, maybe he should.
I mean, they gave it to Obama for what? Why did Obama get the Peace Prize for?
I don't know why Obama got a Peace Prize.
Obama Peace Prize. All right, I'm gonna. All right, in 2009, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Barack Obama for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. What a joke! This is 2009, of course. Benghazi, bombing Syria. That came after his Peace Prize. But Trump, I mean, listen, Trump right now, if North Korea and South Korea end the war, and if Trump could get Kim Jong-un to talk and sit down, I mean, that's great. Trump will have accomplished something that no president has ever accomplished. Obama was the 4th president of the United States to have been awarded a Nobel Prize. Previous winners were Teddy Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, and Jimmy Carter. With, of course, Jimmy Carter, he received the Peace Prize after he left office. So, I mean, that's big.
Well, that was when he left after. Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares? But he's just because your former president still carries weight.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Right. So,
It shouldn't be a big deal. Oh.
So here's some quotes, Andrew, from yesterday. This is time-stamped, these quotes. President Trump said the United States would be doing everything possible to make an upcoming meeting with Korean leader Kim Jong-un a worldwide success. A huge, huge meeting. The president said at the joint conference with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in Florida that he hopes to see the day when two Koreas can live together in safety, prosperity, and peace. Japan is a lot closer to North Korea, but he added, we're working on this together. So obviously, behind the scenes, you got Japan, South Korea, North Korea, and China. All Trump got them all to sit down at the bargaining table and to discuss peace, and he's doing it. The former director, CIA director Mike Pompeo, who now is secretary, right? Secretary of State. I read, Andrew. He had a lot to do with this. They've been talking for months and months and weeks. That's why I think Trump made Mike Pompeo the Secretary of State, because who was the other clown that he fired?
Who did Trump fire specifically?
The Secretary of State, Priebus. What was it, Priebus? Not Priebus.
Oh, Priebus?
Oh, no,
Tillerson.
No. Wait, Tillerson or McMaster?
Tillerson was the Secretary of State.
Right. He fired him, right?
Yeah, Trump told him he was fired.
Right, you're fired. Disappear, scumbag. Is that what he told him, Andrew? He said, disappear, scumbag. Like the drill sergeant. So, Andrew, now, you brought him up, former professional wrestler and cultural icon Bruno Sammartino passed away yesterday at the age of 82. I didn't know he was that. He was that old. I don't know why. I don't know how he died. Andrew, did you like Bruno Sammartino? I mean, he's before my time.
He's the best wrestler of all time.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to say it that way, he did. He was a champion for the WWE for almost 12 years in the 60s and the 70s. He held the title for 8 years, and then he held the title for the 4 years. That's crazy. It said his death was announced on WWE.com. No details were given. But a former friend and wrestling announcer Christopher Cruz told the AP that Sammartino had been hospitalized for 2 months, probably pneumonia. Most old people die of pneumonia. Sammartino lived in Pittsburgh, and this guy was great. I mean, have you ever seen matches of him, Andrew?
I've seen a few matches.
Well, if anybody out there is listening and they're a wrestling fan,
he was a very good in-ring performer.
Yes, he didn't do really nothing except he was just a brawler and he punched and kicked. But he told a great story. If anybody out there is a Bruno Sammartino fan or wants to see something, go on YouTube and search Bruno Sammartino versus Roddy Piper. That was one of his last feuds in the mid-'80s. I think it was 1985. And I'll send you the link. It's just great stuff. Of course, there was another legendary battle. You could search Bruno Sammartino versus Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko was his student, and then Larry Zbyszko turned on Bruno Sammartino when he hit him in the head with a wooden chair, and then they had a great couple of matches, Andrew. But hey, listen. The more we get older, the more people that we have known and followed and idolized, they're gonna die. Celebrities are nothing special. They put on their pants like us, one leg at a time. They go to the bathroom like us. So it's nostalgic because it's you get, like, I guess we would call it feeling melancholy because we grew up watching these people and rooting for them. Andrew, we're out of time. Do you have any plugs?
Yes, Frank is on Twitter at EAZZ34. I am at Andy's Randomness.
All right. I want to thank everybody for putting up my voice. We'll be back again next week live on UCY TV at 8 p.m. sharp, hopefully. Thank you. God bless and have a great weekend. Gonna talk to you later, Andrew.
Bye, Frank.
Stop that hammering! Son of a bitch!